Welcome to my sewing room, which is going to get a renovation. So before I start with some renovation ideas I have for my space, I thought it would be good to document what it used to look like. And I thought I'd take you along for the ride. So if you like that, come on and I'll give you a tour of my space. So this is what my sewing corner looks like. I have a space in the basement of our house. Here in the States, we call a basement the ground floor, even though you can walk out there into the garden. But so there's a lot of light in this space, and I actually really like it. It's been working out really well. I used to sew on the kitchen table, and that didn't go so well. So just to give you guys an overview, what I plan to do is paint those bookshelves in the back. I'm going to paint them a nice white, because I really don't like the stain. I never have. It used to be bookshelves and now I overtook it. So that needs to be done. And also I need to work on my lighting. So the natural light in this space is very good and it's sometimes too good. So I'm going to make curtains in the back window. And I also, if you notice the can lights up there, that one shines directly down onto my space. And what happens was when I use my table, it creates a giant shadow over everything. So it's hard for me to see what I'm doing. Also, oh gosh, when filming, it also creates a giant shadow across my face. And I've never been able to resolve that. I'm trying not to buy extra lights, but I think what I'll do is get some, maybe a desk lamp or something like that. I haven't quite decided. That's definitely an issue. Over above my sewing machines, I want to put up we have an extra television. So I thought I'd hang that on my wall right there so that I can watch sewing tutorials when I'm stuck, or if I just want to watch Netflix, I thought it would be fun to have there. So let's move into what I call the triangle, my sewer's triangle. You know how kitchens have a triangle that consists of your refrigerator, your oven, and your sink? Well, my sewer's triangle consists of my machines, my workspace, and my ironing board. And the reason I did this is because I'm constantly going from my sewing machine to my cutting board to my ironing board, back to my table where I pin things and measure things, back to the sewing machine. And gosh, I don't like to stand up. So I can do this all with my swivel chair, and I just swivel to the right, to the left, and I actually don't have to go anywhere while I sew. So I love my sewing triangle. That's not going to change. So then if we move over here, this is a small table I got from IKEA. This one was $89. I did not get this from IKEA. This is a small table I got from Amazon, $89. So it's really sturdy. It's made out of metal, and I like the top. I actually have two of these. One I use for work, and that's over in my other corner, and this one is for sewing. I have two machines that I use constantly. Now this is a working sew space, so you will see me in mid-project. The machine on the left is a Brother Baby Lock 1034, and the machine on the right is a Singer Heavy Duty. These are both fairly new. I bought them this year, and they've worked out very well for me. So they're both speedy machine. I think the Singer Heavy Duty does 1,000 stitches a minute, and the overlock is heavy as well. You can see I broke one of my threads, so I have to figure out how to rethread my overlocker, because that's broken. No more thread. The Singer also goes through a lot of fabric, so if you're working on denim or coats, it's definitely one to look at. I don't like the dials, because in my old machine, I was able to have more choices, and this feels just very archaic to me, but it is a good machine and it's gonna last, I'm sure. So now, as far as my cutting table. Let's see if I can get a good look at it. All right, so my cutting table is actually an old conference table we found in a warehouse sale. The reason I like this one so much is because, I don't know if you can see it, but the edges are curved. So it's wider here, and then it goes narrow, narrow, and then wider. And what's nice about this is that usually patterns do have a wider spot in the middle when you're cutting. What I do is, obviously I clear this off, and a narrower spot up here. So I can lay out a really good length of a pattern and fabric, and then cut it out, just moving around the edges of the table. I also go in the back to cut out as well. So that's why I have it in the middle, so I can go to both sides of the cutting table. This was another really good find. I don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't that much. Right. On my table itself, I usually have to the left, I will have a box that contains just random stuff. Today it's got scissors, a pattern I'm working on, some tape. This is something I'm gonna need to organize. I don't have any place to store my scissors or any of this stuff. It would be really great to have a wall or a pegboard. I'm gonna look into that as well. I have random, I use these as my paperweights, my fabric weights. These are actually coasters my husband bought, so good multi-purpose use there. I also have these teacups that I use a lot from, gosh, we bought these at a thrift store years ago. So this one contains my pins and pin cushions. I have a lot of those, and I like them, but I don't. We'll get to that later. You know, pin cushions, just random. There's my serger thread. So that's this half of the table. And then the middle is where I do my clipping, cutting, stitching. I have a shirt up there I'm working on. And on this side, if the fabric's extra long, I have some extra space over there where I can cut things. Ooh, Bite into Japan. This one holds a project I'm working on. That's my Simplicity sweater. I've actually cut it all out. All the fabric is in there cut out, but I do not plan on working this for a while. So instead of it just sitting around with the pieces getting lost, I keep it in these boxes. So anytime I cut out a piece of fabric, I store it right there in the box. So then let's move on to my shelves. I'll take you through this row of shelves and then the boxes down there. So basically, this is a random shelf I have with random things on it. I definitely, I probably will keep this shelf, but need some better organization. I'm thinking baskets, buckets, maybe even some that I can create myself out of extra fabric. So I've got my ironing. This is a little bobbin threader that I love. You always need your pledge. Since I'm down here on the ground floor, it gets dusty down here. So I'm constantly dusting and trying to make my space clean. Then again, you can see how I have bits and pieces, odds and ends in these teacups, really bad storage, a random case that holds rubber bands with a rubber band that's broken. My old machine, this is a Kenmore. I bought this in 2005 when my kids were born, thinking that I was going to be this great sewist, and I didn't sew a thing. No, I think I tried 3 outfits and gave up. So it's been sitting here until last year when I got the sewing bug, and I used it for a while, and I love it. I actually like it more than the heavy duty because it tells you more over here, but right now it's sitting on a shelf. All right, that's random quilting, batten, something like that. Okay, so shelf number 1, again, I'm gonna paint all of these white. I actually stained them myself and did a really crappy job. You can see just a terrible job. So I don't care about staining these white. So this is where I keep all of my fabric. You guys will actually get a quick tour of all the fabric that I have. This up here, these are all from mystery boxes. So These, the lace mystery box came from Fabric Warehouse Direct. Just some random polka dots. This is actually a remnant of a shirt I made, my husband. This is silk. So this corner over here, these are all silks from a silk mystery box, and there's some very cool ones up there. Oh, this isn't silk. But I definitely have to dig into those, but they're not on my priority list. Down here, these are my spring collections. These are denims that I absolutely love. These are my fabrics that I don't intend to sew ever. Do you have those where you just can't cut into something because you like the fabric so much? So these are those too. Plus, I want to get in shape before I wear them, swear to God. This right here is a gingham, and I think I'm going to use this for the curtains, which I'll talk about in a minute. So that's curtains. These are some cotton, really light cotton. This is a very random print I have. And then these are heavier cotton. So that's my spring collection. And then random assortment of things. Again, this is where I would love to put storage in here. Maybe even build something. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, I'd love a card catalog, but something like that where I can open and close drawers instead of just having random, that's where I keep my needle threaders. And this one holds tape. There's my chalk. I always seem to have plenty of these around. And then over here I have some really pretty buttons and some more pretty buttons. There's something in there too. My son made this little memorandum. This is just random. Again, dusty, so I have a lot of these scattered around. So that is that shelf. Okay, and the next shelf, books. The strange path I took to sewing was actually, I was into history and I was reading about Mary Wollstonecraft. And then I was trying to figure out what they wore in the 1790s. And then I found Abby Cox's blog and I'm like, oh my God, she can make her own clothes. And then that's how I got the sewing bug. So a long trail from history to sewing. However, these books are all sewing related, but they are still very old. They're like from 1901, etc. So at some point I'll go through these. This is Spitalfield. That was from Mary. She's a feminist from the 1790s. She actually grew up in Spitalfield. And it turns out her parents were weavers. So it's kind of an interesting tie-in with her as well. So fun books there. Another Tokyo Treat. This one was for Christmas. And this one holds zippers. So that's my zipper box. I suppose what I need to do is label these because I know what some of them are, but sorry guys. I know what some of them are, but obviously if I'm looking for zippers, I'm not going to remember that's there. So maybe a little label on that, but I love these. My husband. Okay, so magazines. My mom gave me this owl, so I love them very much. The next shelf, random bias tape. I'm hooked on bias tape, so I buy these big chunky kinds, 2 inches, so I just have a stack there. Wouldn't it be nice to have some kind of storage here? I need to do that as well. These are patterns I put aside because I might want to make them at some point. And then the bottom shelf, another random box. This is actually some pants I'm working on. Yeah. And then this box just holds some serger thread. These are snaps. I've used them a couple of times. I love snaps. Kind of going through a snap phase too, that you just sew on. And it's a whole length, so if you're doing like a dress, you can just sew on the length with your machine. Kind of neat. Some random... Oh, this is... I haven't used that yet. Okay, so that's this shelf. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, again, fabric. These are my linens. I love these linens. That's silk up there actually. And this is like a canvas, so that would be for a coat. These are my cottons, some spring cottons. You'll see those in another video. I'm gonna have to plan out what to do with those. And then this is a flannel, some more cottons. This is, oh, my beautiful wool stash. These are all wool. I'm gonna hate to sew into those because I just love the fabric, but at some point I'm gonna make jackets and pants out of these. Got some flannel, there's another wool, that's wool and cotton flannel. All right, so moving on to the next shelf. These two shelves house my patterns. Some storage issues here are, number one, this basket is about the worst thing you can store patterns in because how I use these, the buckets I actually like. They're from toys my kids used to have. They, you know, like a toy shelf they keep their toys in, and they actually fit patterns really well, so I can take them out and look through them easily. What I have is like shirts, t-shirts, shirts, dresses, more dresses. Need to replace this. Down here, I don't know why. See, these are all historical costumes, and I've never made one. I have this idea, right? Back to loving history. I'm going to make one day, but I haven't yet. These are pants and skirts and things like that. And then these are more skirts and random dresses. So that's basically all of my patterns and how I store them. The bottom shelf here, that's my sewing kit. My mom gave me that, so I love it very much. It's your standard sewing. It holds my needles and things like that. So needles and I don't know what else is in there, lots. This is a random box that I need better organization. I got my hams and then a lot of beads, and these are in nice containers, of course, but they're just hard to look through. I need to figure out some storage ideas there, back to maybe building in more shelves here or something like that. All right, almost done with the bookshelves, starting from the top. Oh wait, the tippy top, those are kids' toys and stuff like that. My kids are too old to play with those. And here comes my dog. All right, so the top we have some wool. Wool. Oh, that's silk. So again, some wool. And here are some more books. Now these are actually geared to sewing. Some are tutorials like the sewing book and Nancy Ziemann's sewing. This swatch book was a big fat waste of money. Don't buy one of those. It's just silliness. You can make your own. Then a lot of historical stuff because, again, hooked on history. This is like a fashion encyclopedia. So I use these ideas for my sewing. Actually, more lately I've been using Pinterest, but these are definitely something I might review with you guys later. And now here is the collection of Tokyo treats. I actually think I know what, I know this is my thread box. So in here, these are all of my threads. And it's so hard to figure out what I have. I definitely need to figure out how to store threads. The thing is, again, with the dust down here, like look at my window. Look at that dust. I haven't cleaned that in a while. I mean, this place gets really dusty. So I'm looking at ways to store my thread. Like this is perfect without having to clean dust off all the time. So that is my thread box. Okay, the next box, oh golly, it's dusty. The next box, that's all my interfacing. I think if I had a label on it, it would be easier. Tokyo treats, yes, they're so colorful and beautiful, aren't they? I love these boxes. And with the white and the white paint, that's gonna look really nice together. I might have to laminate them. So that's my interfacing. Oh, I didn't know I had that. Okay, so not a huge collection, but I definitely need to use it up because I don't want to buy anything else yet. Okay, on the right, let's see what this box is. Oh, more bias binding. So the little stuff goes in here, like I have pink and different colors of bias binding. There. All right, this one, oh, I think this is my buttons. That's what it sounds like. Yes, my collection of buttons. These are for jean jackets. These are super easy to put in. I don't know if you've ever done a jean jacket, but you should try one because it's actually, oh, look at these giant coat buttons. These are from my mother. You know, she recently passed away, and so they're very special to me. Brown. I think these are more jean jacket. Oh no, these are clasps. Oh, these are for overalls. So, and these are, oh, these are really cute. Look, they're jean jackets, but they have little bees on them. So I have to use those at some point. That's my button collection. Not huge, but I want to use them up. I like to use things up before I move on and buy more, except for fabric, right? I'm a little carried away with that. All right, that's closed. And then this was the Tokyo Treat Halloween edition. Yes, they send you a Halloween edition. This one has, oh, nothing exciting, elastic. Ooh, wow. All right, we're going to wrap up the tour doing a quick look through of these. This is just, I keep this here because my cat sleeps by the window. That's something else I should point out. Fabric, window, sun damage. I need to do something about that. I think maybe I'll move my fabric to the other side of the bookshelves because, oh, wait a sec. How did I forget the fabric here? I just moved on too fast. These are my cottons. Obviously, I like checks, gingham. These are for shirts and blouses, probably. I have a whole lot of this Madras plaid. I absolutely love this stuff. And then this is all kind of really light. So this you will see in the spring and the summer. It definitely is going to make an appearance. Some fabrics for my husband, some shirts maybe. And here it is, my knits. These are all my knits. I wish I had more, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. I plan on using these up, and hopefully I'll get some more. That's that, this is polar fleece. These are just black material. So those are my knits. And then down here, leftover, that's what I made my cape over out of. That's leftover, and that just some leftover fabric down there. Okay, so if we look at these 6 boxes, nothing very exciting. This first one, this is my that's my mock-up material. So anything that I plan on using for mock-ups goes in here. It's like not my favorite fabric or sheets or things like that. These you can see, these are Adidas pants. I have a ton of these, and these are all from my boys. They don't fit in them anymore, so I plan on making a princess dress or something really fun out of those. I actually have more in the garage. So, well, down below, okay, that's, oh, these are blouses. So this is another, these are blouses that I might recycle to be something new. I got a ton of those in there. Lots of fun fabrics. These are linings. So I have this random, I didn't like this fabric. It's like a, I don't know. So I'm going to turn it into lining. I don't have like high quality lining, but these are all what I'm going to use for lining. And these are my scraps, lots of scraps in there. And then down here, I have random, this silk, this whole thing that is filled with, that's filled with the silk that I bought when I first started sewing, and gosh, I don't know why I bought so much of it, but I've got it and I don't know what to do with it. In the corner we have more scraps and then more shirts that I don't wear anymore. So that's the end of my tour. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, and I hope you stick around because I'm going to renovate this, and I would love to. I have to take some pictures of the before, and I'm very excited about the after, because I think it'll look a lot cleaner and better organized. So come on and stick around and see if I can pull it off. All right, bye.